the Hispanic community comes together to honor and celebrate our Hispanic heritage. We discuss this and more right here in the next Latino Motion. Join us.
Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is presented by Latino Motion Public Affairs Media, a New Jersey nonprofit corporation. Join us online at www.latinomotion.tv. Find us on Facebook and YouTube. We encourage your comments and contributions for show topics. Funding for Latino Motion is provided by Atlanticare. For more information, call 1-888-569-1000 or visit atlanticare.org. Atlantic City Electric, energy for a changing world. And South Jersey Gas.
Welcome to Latino Motion, a weekly interview show highlighting issues impacting New Jersey's Latino community while advancing understanding of Latino cultural heritage and contributions to our society. And here is your host, Bert Lopez.
Buenos dias and welcome to Latino Motion. My guest today is Victor Moreno with El Pueblo Unido of Atlantic City to discuss some of the exciting activities in celebration of Hispanic Heritage Month. Victor, welcome to Latino Motion.
Thank you, Bert. Thank you for having me.
So obviously we're in the midst of Hispanic Heritage Month. Just for the audience, Hispanic Heritage Month runs from September the 15th to October the 15th. And over in Atlantic County, there's been a lot of activities celebrating Hispanic heritage. Tell me about some of the things that have taken place so far.
Yeah, Bert. So there's been a lot of celebrations throughout this period of time. You know, we're still halfway through, or about halfway through. We've had a lot of festivals and activities for the entire community in general. The Latino Festival that kicked off the celebration, from the Viva Mexico Festival in Pleasantville to other community events that other organizations have hosted, and to upcoming ones that we have going on.
Yeah, and right now, I know we're going to talk a little more about El Día de los Muertos, which is, as we go into October, we go into the celebration of Halloween. A lot of people from Mexico also celebrate El Día de los Muertos, and we all know that movie Coco. So we're going to talk about some of those exciting activities that's upcoming. But let's just break down a little bit about, because we do have some clips that we could show in terms of some of the events that have taken place.
Great.
First, the Latino Festival. So that was held in Atlantic City. You seeing the event. It was a beautiful day. Tell me a little more about what a joy it was to have that event there in Atlantic City.
Someone who participated in the event, it was wonderful to see the community come out and celebrate the start. It was a beautiful day right on the boardwalk, right at Atlantic City Showboat by the beach. A lot of folks from the community, so a great response from the community, and not just local, but I believe also from other areas as well. Community services, folkloric dances, live music, entertainment, Oro Solido closing the show. Yeah. To performances all throughout. So it was a wonderful time for the community to come out and kind of kick us off for Hispanic Heritage Month.
And this event is sponsored or hosted by the Hispanic Association of Atlantic County. And it was great to have big sponsors like Atlantic City Electric. Atlantic Shores Offshore Wind was also a partner with us on this event, as well as Atlanticare and CRDA. It's great to have that great support for these kind of community events. And obviously the Hispanic Association of Atlantic County was thrilled. Let's talk about the Mexican Independence Day, because that took place in Pleasantville. Beautiful event. And we even had the Council of Mexico from Philadelphia arrive to that event as well.
That's right, Bert. So on September 14th, we also celebrated the Viva Mexico Fest. That's what we called it. Was hosted by the city of Pleasantville. Open, beautiful field, beautiful day. Tons of resources, activities for the families. Face painting, bull riding. We even had some ponies there for the kids. But the significant part about the program itself was that for the Mexican community, we celebrate what we call the Grito de Independencia. And it's a symbolic symbolism for when Mexico declared independence. And so it was great to have the Mexican consulate be with us that day to symbolize and to kind of carry on that act during the program, along with folkloric dances. So great attendance by the community. Over 1,000 folks attended throughout the day. It was a beautiful day. It was free and open to the public. It was just a continuation of the celebration of many Latin American countries' independence during this time frame.
So in Mexico, this is almost like the 4th of July as well.
Correct, Bert, correct. Yep, September 14th, 15th is the weekend that Mexico celebrates their independence. Correct.
And, what we're also seeing is that there's a lot of organizations that have employee resource groups. And these ERGs are also actively involved in that celebration of Hispanic heritage. I'll mention Atlanta City Electric, the organization OLE, organization of Latinos at Exelon. They do a fantastic event as well in their Mace Landing office. And I know that this year, Atlantic Care also did a Hispanic Heritage Month with conjunction with the Boys and Girls Club right there in Atlanta City, kind of doing that event with an organization and giving back to the community. So those are great events that are taking place. Tell me a little bit about the importance of not just celebrating our heritage, but getting others engaged.
Right. So, Bert, we've definitely seen a trend from a lot of organizations partaking in the Hispanic Month celebration. And of course, it's important because it reflects for a lot of their employees. I'll talk about higher education as well, the importance of the two institutions also doing a lot of Hispanic Heritage Month celebration, like Stockton University, Elena Cape Community College. You talked about some organizations. And it just goes to show that, one, awareness of other communities, specifically the Latino community in this case. And of course, they have employees. We have students that are Latinos, that identify as Latinos. And so it's a great way to create awareness of the importance, the contributions of the Latin communities here in the United States. So overall, it's been a great response by organizations, businesses to just partake in the celebration. So let's hope to continue that.
Yeah, and when we look at nationally and we see all the political rhetoric that's going on and really kind of the divisive lines, we see that this is one of those opportunities to come together and celebrating culture. It's so very important. Now, I've seen that increase here locally in South Jersey. Have you seen the same?
I mean, absolutely, Bert. I think now you can see Hispanic Heritage Month celebrations all throughout the county, across the state, more than what we've seen before in the last couple of years. So definitely have seen an uptake on celebrations and just everyone kind of partaking in this time frame.
Now, I know you have a young nephew. And how important is it for those youth that were born here, obviously, and get to, celebrate Hispanic heritage in this way?
Right. I mean, as new generations, like you mentioned, have grown up, born in the United States, that they are also partaking in these celebrations because it's a culture. It's part of our culture. It's part of our traditions, our customs from different countries. So it's nice for them to also feel part of the celebration, even if they were born here or are now the second, third generations of Latinos here.
Now, let's talk about the organizations, for the Hispanic organizations. And, there was a time when there were none here. And now, we started with the Hispanic Alliance at the time. Right. There was also the Puerto Rican Parade that was started. And they actually also had an event earlier in the year. Correct. In July timeframe as well. and obviously El Pueblo Unido as well as Azteca. Tell me a little bit more about those organizations.
Yeah, absolutely, Bert. So Organización Azteca, I can start with there, is a nonprofit 501c3 organization that likes to promote the customs and traditions of Mexico. El Pueblo Unido of Atlantic City, also collaborating with them and being board secretary for the organization. It is an overall immigrant justice organization where we like to support our immigrant community in different aspects, from education to advocacy to just general support, everyday support, to hosting community events such as these that we're talking about, that we're going to discuss, to kind of make them feel like they're part of the community and a sense of belongingness.
So Victor, it's so important to have those organizations involved. And we're going to talk more about those organizations, particularly in the role of advocacy. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Latino Motion.
Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is presented by Latino Motion Public Affairs Media, a New Jersey nonprofit corporation. Join us online at www.latinomotion.tv. Find us on Facebook and YouTube. We encourage your comments and contributions for show topics.
Welcome back to Latino Motion as we continue our discussion with Victor Moreno with El Pueblo Unido. And we were just talking about the great events that have taken place in celebration of Hispanic Heritage Month. And we just ended the last segment talking about the great work that these organizations do. And now you're partnering with all those organizations plus others to have a great event in celebration of El Día de los Muertos. And before we get into that, tell me who's involved with putting this all together.
Yeah, Bert. So we're very excited to partner with the City of Atlantic City Multicultural Services, the Noise Arts Garage of Stockton University, our Ducktown Community Development Corporation, Atlantic Cape Community College, the Hispanic Association of Atlantic County, and of course, Organización Azteca en El Pueblo Unido, to put together this inaugural Día de los Muertos celebration.
Now, it's inaugural here, but this is a very important historical, cultural event that takes place throughout throughout Mexico, and certainly it's been carried on in a lot of other major cities having this big celebration. Tell me the importance of this, and I think most of us know the movie Coco.
That's right.
And we know how the significance of that was. Does it have the same relevance to you as well?
Oh, absolutely, Bert. As a Mexican, born in Mexico, being raised here in the United States, it's part of our traditions and customs from Mexico. I know now that it's widely celebrated all throughout the United States, but particularly in Mexico, it's such an important holiday for the community because it celebrates their loved ones, their past ones, and commemorates their memory through the creation of an altar or offering, and it brings memories of what the loved one liked to eat food-wise, and it's just such a vibrant and colorful tradition that's celebrated from November 1st to about November 3rd in Mexico. So yeah,
and it's such a big difference, although it's the same time frame between Halloween. Because Halloween's the 31st, correct, and then El Día de los Muertos is November 1st and 2nd. But it's a big difference, right? Because Halloween is more of a scary ghost kind of atmosphere. It's a lot of fun. You get to dress up. But this has a different feel in terms of the relevance to family, to remembering your ancestors and paying tribute to them, not just during this period of time, but also throughout the year.
Right, Bert. So this holiday kind of goes back to the Aztec and Mayan civilizations. It's been around and it's been celebrated for many generations up until today. And it is so important, a part of this customs and traditions for the families because it does commemorate, celebrates their loved ones. So it has such a unique place at the root of it in terms of family and just that celebration of life in general.
And I know there's a lot of that goes into this, and obviously the altar is a big part of this. Tell me about the significance of the altar and particularly in this celebration?
Yeah, absolutely, Bert. So a lot of the families during this time will set up an altar at their homes that has a lot of different specific items relevant to their loved ones. Favorite foods, perhaps. Day of the Dead bread, for example. Drinks, candles, different things that past loved ones really enjoyed, and it commemorates. It's a symbolism of that family member. And if, of course, you've had more than one or multiple family members that have passed, then it's a combination of it all for all of your loved ones. It's very colorful. A lot of folks like to really go out there and add marigolds and cut paper, candles. So it could go from something very small to something very elaborate that could be up to 6, 8 feet tall. And fresh fruit for the loved ones. And in reality, the belief is that your loved ones, their spirit comes back to your home during that time, whether it's November 1st, the 2nd, or the 3rd, and they come back and visit you. And so you want to have something to offer, an ofrenda to offer your loved one.
Yeah, it's certainly very exciting, and there's so much meaning. And you mentioned some of the items like the flower, the butterfly, and sugar skulls and all of that. All of it has a symbol, some relevance.
Correct. So there's a lot of symbolism with the sugar skulls that a lot of folks here in the United States may be very aware of. It just symbolizes, like that family, loved ones, decor, of course, a decor aspect into the altars, pictures of loved ones as well, different items like that, favorite foods, like I mentioned earlier.
So let's talk about the altar, because the event is taking place on November the 1st, but prior to that, on October the 23rd, is when the exhibit of the altars are going to take place. So tell me a little bit about that part of it and how do people sign up?
Yeah, absolutely. So this is, like I mentioned earlier, it's the inaugural celebration here in Atlantic City, and we've partnered with the Noise Arts Garage of Stockton University, and we are doing an open call for entries. So any local community members, local organizations, or businesses that would like to partake in the contest. So it is a contest that we're doing for this. We have 10 spots available. Folks are able to submit an entry, and we will select the top 10 altar entries that we have for them to be on exhibit from October 23rd through October 31st at the Noise Arts Garage.
So how would they be judged? Is there going to be a panel?
Absolutely, yes. So we are going to we're going to try to please the masses. So we have 3 winners. The first winner will be selected by the community voice, by the community vote. Okay. And so during the October 23rd through October 31st exhibition, folks that go visit the altars and go through the museum will be able to select their favorite. That's the community favorite. And then we will also be selecting a first place for most traditional altar and first place for most creative, each at a $500 prize.
And I know that a lot of families take a lot of pride in doing this. So being able to do it in a public space like this and being able to share with the community, it certainly should be very rewarding, not just for that family, because they're sharing this with the rest of the community as well. So besides the contest, if you will, this is also going to be a festive time, right? So it's going to start from 6 to 9. So tell me what to expect.
Yep. So we're hoping that all this, the contest will culminate on November 1st with the Day of the Dead celebration, Día de los Muertos, la celebración, from 6 to 9 o'clock p.m. And during that event, we're going to, of course, announce the winners of the contest, but we're also planning on having live entertainment, live music, performances, some face painting for children, activities, crafts, and light refreshments for the community and everyone in our community to partake in the celebration and be part of it.
Do you know what kind of entertainment so far?
Yeah, absolutely. So we do have a mariachi singer who will be doing some very traditional music from Mexico. We have the Ballet Jaretsi from Norristown, Pennsylvania, who was also at the Latino Festival, who will be doing some traditional folklore dances for everyone to enjoy. We have some face painting. We are in talks with some local restaurants for catering in terms of refreshments. And again, this is free and open to the public.
Oh, this is a great celebration. I'm looking forward to it. We want to talk a little more about this. We're just going to take a quick break. We'll be right back with more Latino Motion.
Latino Motion with Bert Lopez is presented by Latino Motion Public Affairs Media, a New Jersey nonprofit corporation. Join us online at www.latinomotion.tv. Find us on Facebook and YouTube. We encourage your comments and contributions for show topics.
Welcome back to Latino Motion. We continue our discussion with Victor Moreno with El Pueblo Unido. And Victor, we were just talking about El Día de los Muertos and that great celebration that's being planned for November the 1st from 6 to 9. There's also going to be the opportunity for folks to register to have the altar as part of a contest starting on October the 23rd. So this is an amazing event. We mentioned the festivities. Just talking a little bit about, are there activities for the kids as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So we're planning on having some crafts, face painting available for children during that time frame. Like I said, refreshments as well.
And it's important that this is open to everyone. Is there registration needed?
So there is no registration. It is free and open to the public. Everyone is welcome, regardless of your background or community. Everyone is welcome.
So exciting to have this inaugural event taking place in Atlantic City. I'm sure it's going to be a big draw, and we're going to have a great deal of people showing up. So looking forward to it. Let's switch gears a little bit because we mentioned the organizations at Pueblo Unido, the Hispanic Association, Organization Azteca, and these are important organizations that have been around, but not just doing these type of events and celebrations, but also advocating for the community. And in your view, what are some of the critical issues that Latino community is facing?
I mean, currently, Bert, with the Latino community increasing in population, specifically in Atlantic City and Atlantic County in general, we've seen a lot of more Latinos in this area. Still the lack or disparities in information, resources that are available to them, from housing issues to healthcare issues. So a wide array of things that we've identified that these organizations have supported or have supported and continue to support the community.
Yeah, you mentioned disparities, and obviously that's been something that me and you've been involved with for a very long time. And you in education, there's education disparities in terms of being able to get our youth to go to college. Tell me a little bit about that, because I know 17 years with Atlantic Cape Community College, so I know this is your expertise. Tell me more.
That's right, Bert. I mean, we want to continue to encourage Latinos to pursue higher education, to earn a degree, and sometimes it may not be because they can or are not able to do so, but because of their social economic status, resources that are available to them, education, knowledge about how to file for that financial aid application, and kind of breaking those barriers, or what I like to say is leveling the playing field so that meet them where these students are so that they can go to college. And also, once they're in the door, how do we retain them? How do we maintain them in school, give them the additional resources and services that they need to be successful to get them to the finish line?
And I know that throughout these celebrations, like when we did the Latino Festival, there were a great deal of resources there, agencies like HCCC and other organizations, Stockton University, Atlantic Care, providing tabling opportunities to talk to individuals, to provide them resources. Right. Latinos continue to be underserved in many areas. So organizations like ours need to continue to work towards reaching out to the Hispanic community, let them know what resources are available.
Absolutely, and I think a great theme that we've seen recently, Bert, is that sense of collaboration amongst these organizations, such as the Hispanic Association, El Pueblo Unido, Azteca, but just other organizations in general for the same common goal, which is to support and provide these crucial resources to the communities that need them at large. So it's been great to see that recently.
In the past, it's you always heard the excuse, well, not enough Latinos apply for a position, right?
Right.
But then what effort was taken to recruit Latinos for those positions. So certainly we're seeing a lot more engagement in that front. Do you agree?
Absolutely. I think we've definitely seen progress. Of course, there's more work that still needs to be done. However, we've now started to see a trend of those conscious efforts to target the Latino community.
I like that. Conscious efforts, and it's essentially not just talking about it, but actually doing and being proactive about it, not just you want to do it, but not taking any steps towards that action. Let's talk about some of the issues that some of our Latino communities facing in terms of housing and other social services. Are you seeing a bigger need, or are you seeing the same amount of need as in the past?
Yeah, absolutely, Bert. I think working with the migrant communities, with the immigrant community, we've seen a lot of language disparity. A lot of folks still do not know the language, so they're afraid to go into a hospital setting, a doctor's office, or even basic needs such as going to speak with one of their children's teachers. So I think language barrier is huge, and it's nice to also see there's a lot of organizations like we talked about and other institutions providing ESL classes for the community. I think that's huge. Medical, lack of health insurance amongst the Latino community in general, not having health insurance so that they are covered to go into a hospital setting or a doctor should an emergency arise. Economic-wise, making sure that they're employable, that they're able to gain full-time employment is important as well.
It's very critical, very important, and we're seeing time and time again that there are folks who don't get it in terms of being proactive and reaching the community. There's such a big economic impact with the Latino community.
Right.
And you look around and you see that a lot of the economic benefit that having the Latino community and small businesses are all contributing to the benefit of the community.
That's right, Bert. I mean, just staying alone on businesses, a lot of the small mom and pop shops are ran by Latino members, Latino community members. And what's that contribution like economically to a town, but also for the service that it's providing to the community as well?
So Victor, I know it's important for folks who are out there that want to get involved. I mean, we talked about a lot of great activities, a lot of great events, but helping to organize these events takes volunteers. We had such a nice turnout for the Latino Festival, Independence Day of Mexico. I saw a lot of volunteers out there. It's so important to get those people engaged, and we'll put the numbers up on the screen here of the organizations and how to contact. Why is it so important to give back and get engaged?
I mean, Bird, this is, we can't do this work alone, as you know. It takes a village to support, and so we want to encourage folks to continue to be part, to have their voices heard. And yes, it may start with volunteering at the Latino Festival or the Mexico Independence Festival, but it's a stepping stone for advocacy, for future advocacy, to continue to provide, to be that voice for the community.
And I know as we get older, we have more responsibilities. Certainly getting those extra hands makes a big difference. So continue to push the plug here in terms of getting more engagement from our community. Any final thoughts you have?
Bird, let's continue to celebrate Hispanic Heritage Month. Tons of activities scheduled for the community. And I say let's just continue to be that voice for the community.
It's a pleasure to having you here, Victor. Thank you for joining us here on Latino Motion. And thank you for joining us at home once again here on Latino Motion.
Funding for Latino Motion is provided by Atlanticare. For more information, call 1-888-569-1000 or visit atlanticare.org. Atlantic City Electric, energy for a changing world. And South Jersey Gas.